They called me back in and they told me that my platelet count was dropping. So they told me that I either had AIDS, cancer, or lupus. My name is Lizette. Hear my story. Growing up, I'm the oldest of three. I have a brother and a sister, and I was always very active in school, participating in different sports and activities. I also did karate in middle school and high school until I got my black belt. And I was a captain of the cheerleading squad and chorus, senior class president, very, very active, very social. My story my story with health began in 2006 when I was diagnosed with lupus. I was 24 years old. And if you don't know about autoimmune diseases, when you have an autoimmune disease, you have it for life. There's no real cure for it. But the way that I like to describe lupus is when you have lupus, it's kind of like your immune system is blind. So your immune system is supposed to attack any viruses or illnesses in your body so you can be well again. And with lupus, if your immune system is blind, it doesn't really know what to attack. So it attacks everything. So not just your viruses and your illnesses that are in your body, but it also attacks your organs, your tissues, your muscles, everything. So the way that lupus started to show up for me was that I started to get very large purple bruises all over my body. And I couldn't really ignore the fact that that was happening anymore. So my mom strongly encouraged me to go to the doctor. And after a couple blood tests, they called me back in and they told me that my platelet count was dropping. And there were only a number of things that could affect your platelet count in that way. So they told me that I either had AIDS, cancer, or lupus. So if you can imagine, I was like, God, please let it be lupus. So they ran many tests. They did a lymph node biopsy. They did a bone marrow biopsy, and they ruled out AIDS after blood work and cancer, and then they told me that I had lupus. In that moment, I was in complete shock. I was happy that it wasn't AIDS or cancer, but then I'm like, okay, well, it's lupus. Let's figure it out. What do we do? I didn't know much about it, and that's when I was told, you will have this for life, and now we have to work on treating it. So along with my platelet count dropping, I also was experiencing a lot of hair loss. My hair started to thin out. I started to get extreme fatigue. My kidneys started to go into failure and were being affected. And I had a lot of pain and inflammation all over my body. So I went from never taking any medication at all to all of a sudden now I'm on 9 different pills a day. So one day I decided, forget it. I'm not going to do this anymore, and I'm going to stop taking my meds. And shortly after, I landed in the hospital, hooked up to an IV, getting pumped full of steroids. And at that moment, that was my lowest moment. I felt very alone, and I was mad at myself because I did it to myself, right? Why did I choose to not take care of myself and not take my meds? And at that point, I decided that I needed to empower myself and get my life together, get my health together. I needed to fix this. I needed to do whatever I could so I would never be in that position again. And my lowest point actually led me to what I believe is my purpose in life, to share my story and to advocate for lupus so people know what it is and they know how they can support other people that they may encounter that have this. If you're someone like me and you have been newly diagnosed with lupus or an autoimmune disease, I do want to let you know that your life is not over. I had so many people tell me all the things that I couldn't do, You can't go outside anymore in the sun. You can't work out. You can't lift weights. I don't know if you're going to be able to have children. And I want to let you know that I'm able to do those things now. I want to encourage you to discover your power, educate yourself about your disease, learn your body and know how to listen to your body. And I also want to encourage you to share how you're feeling with other people. People want to support you, but they may not know how. So the most important thing that you can do is talk to them and share what you're going through. Share your good days so they know what that looks like for you, and share the days that are not so good so they know how to love and support you. But I want you to know that your life is not over. It's just a new life.